Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, 1 Samuel chapter 4. If you'd like me to come speak at your church or if you have any questions, you can send me an email at godsohman@gmail.com, or if you have a question, you can just comment below. Now there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about before they start this. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 11, it says, "And all things happen for them for ensamples, that they are written for admonition, upon which the ends of the world have come." 2 Timothy 3 says, "All scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, reproof, correction, and for the instruction of righteousness, as the man of God may be perfect, through thoroughly furnished with all good works." So as we start 1 Samuel 4, we need to figure out exactly why it was written, what we can learn from it, things like that. So 1 Samuel 4 verse 1, "And the words of Samuel came to all of Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle, and pitched beside Ebenezer. The Philistines pitched at Aphek." Now some people ask, who are the Philistines? Who are these people? Where they come from? Things like that. So we're going to really quickly talk about the Philistines. So in Judges 16, it says, "The lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their god, and to rejoice, for they said, Our God has delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands." Now Dagon was the god of fertility and crops. He's featured prominently in the Philistine concepts of death and the afterlife. In addition to his role in the religion of the Philistines, Dagon was worshipped in the more general societies of the Canaanite people, and he usually had this big cool hat on his head, and he had like a half of a fish's body. Genesis 15 says, "And he said to Abram, knowing of surely that all the seed shall be strangers in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them with 400 years. And also that nation whom they should serve I will judge, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they will come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full." And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between these pieces. And the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, Unto thy seed I have given this land, from the river Egypt to the great river Euphrates. God's telling Abram, this area here in red, all that area is going to belong to the Jews or the Israelites. And you can see here, Syria, Samaria, Canaan, they all came in and they wanted to attack Jerusalem. And over the years, they kind of made Israel smaller and smaller. So Israel hasn't fully got all the ground they're supposed to have. Numbers 33 says, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, When you are passed over Jordan to the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, and destroy all the pictures, and destroy all the molten images, and a quick pluck down all their high places. You shall disclose the inhabitants of the land and dwell there, for I have given you the land to possess it." So God told all these people, destroy all these people, destroy all these pictures and memories and idols, destroy all of them, because they're going to cause you problems in the future. Joshua 1 says, "Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the host, and command the people, saying, Prepare your victuals for the 3 days. You shall pass over this Jordan to go to possess the land, which the Lord your God has given to you to possess it." So God said, you're going to destroy these people, because this is going to be your land. You can see here, the area in red there is the area was by Israel after Joshua's conquest. So in 1300 BC, the heathen nations should have all been driven out of the land. Judges 1 goes on, "And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem, but the Jebusites dwelt in the children of Benjamin to Jerusalem to this day. Neither did Manasseh drive out the inhabitants of Bashan and their towns, nor Takach or their towns, nor the inhabitants of Dor their towns, nor the inhabitants of Elam and their towns, nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and their towns, but the Canaanites would dwell in their land. And it came to pass when Israel was strong that they put the Canaanites to tribute. It did not utterly destroy them out." So none of these people is getting rid of the inhabitants either. Neither did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites, neither did Zebulun drive them out, neither did Asher drive them out. But the Assyrians dwelt in the Canaanites, inhabitants of the land, and they did not drive them out, neither did Naphtali drive them out. Judges 2 says, I am the angel of the Lord came up from Galil to Bushan, and said, I made you go up of Egypt, and I brought to you this land which I swore to your fathers, and said I would never break my covenant with you. So again, he's telling them, get rid of these people. You shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. They shall throw down their altars. But you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Wherefore I also said, I will drive them out from before you, and they shall be as thorns in your side, but the gods shall be snare to you. So God's basically telling them, you're supposed to drive them all out. Well, they didn't do that. Now you're not going to have any kind of like a covenant with them. You're not going to be friends with them. You're not going to be friendly with them. They didn't do that either. So God said, you chose to do this, so from now on, these people are going to be a thorn in your side. So you can see here, the Arabian desert. This is all this little red area. It's territory conquered by David. And if you look at that other area right there, you can see what Philistia is. That's where the Philistines live. You look at the bottom of that little area, you can see Gaza. Well, see this little area of Philistine here? You see right at the bottom there it says Gaza. So all throughout the Bible it talks about the Philistines. So 200 plus years later, Samuel lived with the problems created by their lack of obedience. And you can see here, this is where Gaza was originally. See the line that goes straight down? So you got this little circle here. Now it's actually Gath, which is a different area. Joshua 11. At that time came Joshua and cut off the Amalekites from the mountains of Hebron, from Debir to Anai, and from all the mountains of Judah, and from all the mountains of Israel. Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities. And there was none of the Amalekites left in the city of the children of Israel, only in Gaza, which is in Gath. In Ashdod they remained. Now we're going to see a story later in 1 Samuel 17 about Goliath. It says here in verse 3, and the Philistines stood on a mountain on the other side, and the Israel stood on a mountain on the other side. There was a valley between them. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. Hebrews 12 says, wherefore seeing we also are compassed about with such a great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight, and the sin doeth will be easily beseed us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. The children of Israel did not completely drive out the bad guys, as they were told to do in 1300 BC. This came back to haunt them for the next 3,300 years, and it still haunts them today. Christians often do not drive out the sin in their lives. Their tolerant little sins in their heart, they often come back to haunt them. I want you guys to comment below. Has God ever told you to drive out sins in your life and you've ignored them? Let me know what you guys think. Genesis 19 says, when the morning arose and the angels hastened, Lot saying, arise, get thy wife and thy 2 daughters which are here, thou be consumed by the iniquity of the city. While he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful to them, and they brought them forth and set them without the city. So Lot was told to get up and get out. They kind of was a little lazy, didn't want to leave out. So the angel grabbed him and took him out themselves. And it came to pass when they had brought them abroad, they said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou until thy plain. Escape the mountains, lest you be consumed. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my lord. Angels told Lot, leave now, don't look back, because it was a very sinful town. And Lot didn't want to do it. And behold, now my servant has found grace in thy sight, and hast thou magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed upon me in the saving of my life. And I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold, now the city is near to flee into. It has been a little one. Oh, let me escape there. It's not a little one. And my soul shall live. So he's like, oh, I don't want to go over there. Let me go to this other sinful city. That makes more sense. You know, people say, oh, just one more drink. I'll swear I'll stop. You know, oh, let me just speed this one last time. I swear I'll stop. And then they end up getting in a car crash. You know, you're not supposed to drink and drive. Oh, marijuana, it's just a little weed. Then people get addicted to it. I just need a little one. Just a little one of this little baggie here. Oh, how about if I just put a little needle in my body? This is people before and after drugs. This sign says 100 people die each day from overdoses in the USA. Heroin kills. Then they had to mark out the 100 and put, okay, it was 129. And they had to mark that out and put 162. And these people keep dying of drugs every day because they just want one more. David had to live with the Philistines, the Sadducees, the Amalekites, the Moabites, the Edomites, living among them because his ancestor did not drive them out as he was commanded. You can see the Philistines here, the Sidonians, the Ammons, the Moabs, the Edomites. And the Philistines were an ancient people who lived in the south coast of Canaan from the 12th century BC to about 604 BC, when their state, having already been subjugated for centuries by Assyria, was finally destroyed by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. You know, Samson was tempted by the Philistine woman Delilah. She never would have been born 300 years earlier if he'd obeyed. She seduced him and made her fall in love with him. And then later she decided to get his weakness and cut his hair off. And again, if the Philistines were taken out, this wouldn't have happened. And then later, Samson was blinded by the Philistines, and he died bringing down their temple to their false god of Dagon. Again, if they would have listened, this wouldn't have happened. Goliath would have never been born if 300 years earlier they had obeyed. And even today, the Israeli-Palestine conflict is going on. And you can see here on this little map the different areas that are owned by the Palestinians, owned by the Israelites, a little mixture of both. It's just a really crazy thing that would have been solved if we just took care of that thousands of years ago. And you can see that it's a heat now. People are fighting over this country today as we speak. This right here shows the fatalities from 2000 until 2007. The light blue is the Israelites and the green is the Palestinians. You can see here the red area is the Israel security controlled area, and the yellow is the Palestine security controlled area, and the green line is the area that the Palestinians were supposed to have prior to the agreement in 1967. You can see over here is the Gaza Strip. Numbers 33 says, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you are passed over by Jordan to the land of the Canaanites, you should drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and a quick pluck down all their high places. You shall dispose the inhabitants of the land and dwell thereof, for I have given you the land to possess it." They were told, get rid of all these people, this is going to be your land, and they didn't listen. And look at all the problems we're having today because of it. So what little sins are you being tempted with? Look at Eve right here. She grabbed the apple. 1 Corinthians 10 says, "There has no temptation taken you, but such is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above all that you are able, but with all the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it." It's basically saying that there's no temptation too high that you can't withstand it. Sometimes they take you right to that brink, but there's always a way out of it. Call a friend, go get some help. Maybe not have the stuff around, don't go buy it. There's different things you could do, and some addictions are so hard it feels impossible to get away from it. But there's always some way to escape it if you actually find it. So back to 1 Samuel, verse 2. "And the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel. And when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines. And they slew of the army of the field about 4,000 men." In Numbers it says, "Moses said to them, if you will do this thing, if you will go armed before the Lord to war, and I will go all of you armed over the Jordan before the Lord, until he has driven out his enemies from before him. The land be subdued before the Lord, and afterwards you shall return and be guiltless before the Lord, and before Israel, until the land shall be your possession from the Lord. But if you will not do so, behold, I have given sin against the Lord. Be sure your sin will find you out." In Numbers it's saying, speak to the Lord, talk to the Lord, God will take care of things, and that way it'll be easier for you. But if you don't listen, if you don't seek the Lord, well, it's going to come back and haunt you. So 1 Samuel 4 verse 3. "When the people were come to the camp, the elders of Israel said, Wherefore has the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, he will save you out of the hand of our enemies." These people had this brilliant idea. I know, we'll bring the Ark of the Covenant out there, and because we brought the Ark of the Covenant out there where God lives, surely we're going to win this war. At least that's what they thought. So the people went to Shiloh that they might bring out the Ark of the Covenant to the Lord of Hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the Ark of the Covenant of God. But if you look at the other chapters, Hophni and Phinehas is not they're not exactly good people. They basically take advantage of the job that they've been given. Eli's their father, he's the high priest. These two are supposed to take over after him after he dies, and they were very shady people. When the Ark of the Covenant out of the Lord came to the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, What meaneth the noise of this great shout of the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood the Ark of the Lord has come to the camp. So these people brought this Ark out, saying, Surely the Ark's going to save us. Will drinking from a holy grail give you special powers? Some different people in history thought so. King Arthur thought that the Holy Grail was going to give him special powers. Will praying with beads give you a special connection with God? Will putting holy oil on your head guarantee a special blessing from God? Will putting holy oil on your head guarantee you'll be healed? Will putting holy oil on your head guarantee you're going to get a blessing? Does wearing pretty robes and wearing a big hat make you have a special connection with God? Will bringing a golden plated box to the army camp guarantee victory over the enemy? The answer to all these are no. 1 Samuel 4:7. And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God has come to the camp. And they said, Woe to us, for there has not been such a thing hereforth. Woe to us, who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues of the wilderness. So the Philistines were kind of scared. They said, this Ark of the Covenant, every time they have that, they end up winning a battle, and they were kind of scared. Be strong and quit yourself like men, O ye Philistines. Thou wilt not be servants unto the Hebrews, for they have been to you. Quit yourselves like men and fight. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten. And they fled every man to his tent, and there was a very great slaughter. For there fell Israel 30,000 footmen, so the Philistines ended up winning. And the Ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there was a reign of man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day, with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside watching, for his heart trembled for the Ark of God. And when the man came to the city and told it, all the city cried out. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, What meaneth the noise of this tumult? And the man came hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim that he could not see. And the man said to Eli, I am he that came out of the army, and I fled this day out of the army. And he said, What hast thou done, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines. And there has also been a great slaughter among the people. And thy two sons also, Hophni and Phinehas, were dead, and the Ark of God is taken. And it came to pass, when he made mention of the Ark of God, that he fell from his seat backwards at the side of the gate, and his neck broke, and he died. And he was an old man and heavy, and he has judged Israel 40 years. So Eli was a good man. He judged Israel for 40 years. He raised two sons that were not great, and instead of taking care of it, he just said, I'm not worried about it. The last couple chapters, you heard somebody came to Eli and said, Your sons are wicked. They're gonna end up dying, and then you're gonna die too. What's gonna happen? You gotta find a replacement. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was with child, near to be delivered. And when she heard the tidings that the Ark of God was taken, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and travailed, for her pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the women then stood by her and said, Fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. So she basically died in childbirth when she had a son. And she named the child Ichabod, saying, The glory is departed from Israel, because the Ark of God was taken, and because her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory is departed from Israel, and the Ark of God is taken. Well, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can comment below. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about it. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen. The bottom right is going to be the 1 Samuel Bible study. The top left is going to be the Genesis Bible study. And the bottom left is going to be a video YouTube thinks you're going to like. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have yourself a great day.